Then the governor's soldiers took Jesus into the praetorium and gathered the whole company of soldiers around him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head. They put a staff in his right hand. Then they knelt in front of him and mocked him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they said. They spit on him and took the staff and struck him on the head again and again. After they had mocked him, they took off the robe and put on his own clothes. Then they led him away to crucify him. As they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Simon, and they forced him to carry the cross. They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. There they offered Jesus wine to drink mixed with gall, but after tasting it, he refused to drink it. When they'd crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots, and sitting down they kept watch over him there. Above his head they placed the written charge against him: "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." 2 rebels were crucified with him, one on his right and one on his left. Those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "You who are going to destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself. Come down from the cross if you are the Son of God." In the same way the chief priests, the teachers of the law and the elders mocked him. "He saved others," they said, "but he can't save himself. He's the King of Israel. Let him come down now from the cross and we'll believe in him. He trusts in God. Let God rescue him now if he wants him, for he said, 'I am the Son of God.'" In the same way the rebels who were crucified with him also heaped insults on him. So session 5 of Jesus last week. And in this passage we see the blindness of all people. The Roman soldiers had a game which they called the King's Game, where they would take a prisoner, they'd dress him up as a king and pay mock homage to him, and then beat him and kill him. And this is what they were doing with Jesus. Of course, they didn't recognise that he was their king. The inscription over the cross also said, "Jesus, the King of the Jews." What king ever died on a cross? The passers-by saw Jesus as helpless, yet he'd made such big claims about destroying the temple and building it in 3 days. They regarded him as a pathetic figure. He couldn't even live up to his boasting. They had no idea of the actual truth of his statement. The chief priests mocked him. If he were the Son of God, he would come down from the cross. They thought that his staying on the cross was because he was helpless, and this was proof that he wasn't who he claimed to be. They had no idea that he could have called down angels and destroyed them all. Even those crucified with him joined in the ridicule. None of them saw the temple, the dwelling place of God, was actually being destroyed on that cross. It would indeed be raised up in 3 days. None of them realised that it was his choice to stay on the cross and that he was doing it for them. They were witnesses to the most powerful event in all human history, and they couldn't see it. Their own perception of what was true got in the way. It was not the nails that held Jesus on the cross, but his love for you and me.
His love, vast as the ocean, loving kindness as a flood. When the Prince of Life, our ransom, shed for us his precious blood, who his love will not remember, who can cease to sing his praise. He can never be forgotten throughout heaven's eternal praise. On the mount of crucifixion, fountains open deep and wide. Through the floodgates of God's mercy flowed the vast and gracious tide. Grace and love like mighty rivers poured incessant from above. Heaven's peace and perfect justice, his the guilt